They don't shut up about college. See, that's what I'm saying. It was the same when I was in high school too. This is why I have this hat on, dude. So you'll go through this institutional education, put you in this chair, and they'll try to push you through the system. So you'll go through the system of just institutionalized education. You'll be told these criteria that you'll need to learn. You need to learn math, you need to learn English, you need to learn all these things, right? And then and honestly, you learn the same shit every year. Like, you learn a lot of the same shit every year. And no one will ever tell you to break out of that mold. Everyone is just telling you to keep kind of going with that, right? That's what everyone does. That's what society is like. Everyone who's successful gets a college degree, right? The most famous people in the world have college degrees. That's bull. That's straight up bull, dude. And let me tell you why. Okay, I have a college degree. It's in economics, and my full-time job is as a software engineer. So how exactly did my economics degree, like, how did that prepare me for my software engineering career? And if you ask a lot of teachers, they'll say the same thing, is like their degree is in one thing and now they're like a teacher. A lot of people don't actually end up working the job that they went to college for. The second part is there is a requirement of 160 hours to get a degree. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm pretty sure most college degree programs require that you have 160 hours to be accredited. Like, I think for a bachelor's degree, you need to have 120 credit hours. If I go back through all of the classes that I took, I would say that there was like 1 or 2 economics classes a semester, and then like my last year it was like, no, it was 2 economics classes a semester, 2 or 3. You end up taking a lot of wasted classes. One of the classes I took was I needed like 4 science credits. So I needed to get 1 more science credit out of the way. You know what I took? I ended up taking natural disasters, which is a study of natural disasters. I learned about earthquakes and tornadoes, hurricanes. And I spent $800 for that class because I needed to fill a requirement. Once you have these quotas for how many credit hours you need to have, you start falling into the trap where you start requiring things that aren't actually required for the degree. In no way does natural disasters help me with software engineering. I had to take a music class, and I don't plan on making music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to pay $300 to $800 to take that class to fill a degree requirement. And that's the kind of shit that you have to do if you have a minimum requirement hours. Like, somewhere along the way, I was like, okay, I have an economics degree. I've taken all these classes. I want to switch to get a software engineering degree. I was a senior at this point, and I've already been in college for 4 years, and they had told me that if I switched my degree, it would take me another 4 years to get the degree. I'm just like, dude, I already have all these prerequisites. What would I need to take? And they're like, oh, you have the wrong prerequisites. Bro, I'm here now. I'm a freaking software engineer. What do you mean I need to do another 4 years? And on top of that, after I did graduate, I got into a graduate degree program. I was in there for like 2 semesters, and I took an intro to programming class, and it was like $1,500. The same class it took me $20 to freaking get a book that taught me the exact same. A lot of what you go to college for isn't actually like the classes you take. Like, a lot of the value I got out of college was like meeting friends and, you know, making associates and getting leadership positions. But the fact of the matter is, like, you don't need to go to university to get that experience. You just need to be a part of a community. And college in a way is an easy way to get a community. And so I'm telling you this story I'm telling you all these stories because a lot of people are going to tell you that you need to go to the university, and that's really not that good of advice for the average 18-year-old just fresh out of high school. What 18-year-old knows what they want to do when they're out of high school? I didn't know what I wanted to do until like 3 months ago. I'm 25, going on 26, and I didn't know what to do until now. I switched my degree. I went in with a computer engineering degree, then I switched to political science, and then I switched to economics, and then I tried to switch again, and I couldn't. And so that ended up wasting a lot of money and taking a lot of classes I just didn't need. That ended up not counting towards anything. If you think that you're mentally mature enough at 18 to go in, like, you're sure of what you want to do, then I would say go for it 100%. But if you're not sure that you want to go to college, or if you're not sure what you want to do, it might actually be a good idea to not immediately go out to college. Yeah, you could join the military or do something else. It doesn't have to be the military, but you could take your time. You don't have to go immediately after college. And honestly, it might save you a lot more money to not go right after college. I had a buddy in college who actually took a semester off, and he went and worked as a park ranger. He went and worked on a fishing boat. He And he just did a bunch of odd jobs. He like traveled the United States, and then he figured like what he knew, like what he wanted to do, and he was more sure of himself. So yeah. Another thing that's really dangerous to tell people to go to college right after high school is that they'll tell this to a lot of minorities, and a lot of people who are already in like low income backgrounds. And the thing is that, like, if you come from a low income background, it costs a lot of money to live, even in university. You like, well, your most of your day is gonna be classes, and then after class you're gonna have to be studying. On top of that, you have to eat and pay rent, pay for gas, pay for school supplies, pay for your books, pay for like software for, because I'm gonna tell you something that not a lot of people will tell you. A professor's job is not to teach, it's to research. So they're gonna outsource the teaching most of the time to software. So you'll end up actually just learning from a book, and the teacher will just give you PowerPoints of that book. So you're paying $800 to buy a $300 book, so your teacher can make a PowerPoint out of it. A lot of advisors will try and push, especially minorities and BIPOC students towards university, because they see it as the best way to rise in your income level, right? To go from like low income to middle class to, you know, high middle class, right? They say that going through education and getting a college degree is the best way to do that. And in a way that is true. But like I said, it's expensive to be in college, and college is expensive, right? Both living and college are expensive. If you are from a low income background, the chances are you're gonna have to pick up a part-time job to pay for your university while you're going through university. And that adds a lot of stress because college is already really, really hard. And honestly, even if you have a college degree, and if you didn't work during college, the chances of you getting a job after college like drop a lot. Like, you still have to have experience to get a job after you have a college degree. It's such bull. So no, it's a lie. Getting a college degree does not guarantee that you'll like even have a job in the degree that you have. And if you're a low income student and you have to work, the chances of you dropping out are significantly higher. Why is that bad? The people who struggle to pay back their college debt, it isn't the people that graduate college. It's the people who graduate college with a degree that doesn't actually make them more money. And it's the people who drop out of college who struggle to pay back college debt. Why is that? Because the government doesn't care what kind of job you have. They care that you pay back your debt. They have like different repayment program plans, and like there's one that's like income based. It's still like a hard set number, and it might be difficult to reach that if you got like a for example, not to shame anyone or talk bad about any one profession, but we had to read this book, and I just realized I've been on the browser screen. We read this book in my economics class, and it was talking about how teachers have the worst return on investment with a degree, because after a 4-year college degree that costed them $30K, like somewhere between 30 and 40K, they only make 30 and 40K a year. And the thing between their salary and their college debt is that the college debt is going to increase over time because of interest and inflation, whereas their wages are just going to stay still because teachers don't get raises. So you're basically if you're a teacher, because like you literally just put yourself in debt to be poor. Like, but yeah, teaching is like a very good profession, and a lot of teachers don't teach because of the money. They do it because they want to like give back to students. And you know, in the same way that I started this YouTube channel, is like I want to give back to my community and teach you all, and you know, give you the advice that I wish someone had told me. So yeah, definitely take your time, and I'm going to give you some alternatives to going to university, and you guys have already talked about it in the chat, but let's just get started. So my first alternative to going to like a university would be a community college. Usually the classes in a community college are going to be cheaper and easier than a class in a university. For example, when I was in high school, I took a lot of AP classes, and the AP classes were so freaking intense, and the AP tests were literally the worst experience I've ever had. Like, I had to sit down in a room for 8 hours and take an exam. That was like a job. That's like I had to go clock into work, but instead of getting paid for my time, I had to pay them for the opportunity to take a test, for the opportunity to get college credit that my college might not even take. Bro, this whole education is a scam, bro. No, not actually, but like it seems like it sometimes. I recommended community college to someone, and they acted like it was a thing for the unintelligent. Your thoughts on that? A smart person would understand that a college degree is just a piece of paper, Like the real knowledge you can get from a class is like what you can actually take out of it. So no, like, community college is not for the unintelligent. On the opposite, I would say it's a wiser decision to go to a community college right after college, because a community college is a generic thing. You can get an associate's degree from a community college in 2 years, and that already increases your income level, right? Because it's a type of degree, and it's not like a very specific degree. But in the same route, you can show that you've taken college classes, and those college classes can be transferred to a university. Or you can go the 4-year route at a university like my did, and end up having 50K in debt by the time you graduate. So no, community college is not for the unintelligent. Community college is for the wise people who know that they don't know what they want to do yet. So why would they waste the money trying to pursue something they don't know that they're going to enjoy? My second choice would be a trade school. The difference between a trade school, community college, and a university is that a trade school is going to teach you a very specific skill. It's going to teach you a high skill profession, right? It's going to teach you something that requires a lot of skill knowledge. So like a car mechanic, you'll get hands-on training with repairing and diagnosing problems with cars and understanding engines, right? This is like very hands-on training that you can take and put into practice right after you're done with university, right? So like welders, here, we'll look this up, right? We'll look this up. How much does a welder make after 30 to 50K? So you could go before we do that, you can be a welder for the high school diploma, and you'll end up making almost as much as a teacher. Look at that. See? Crazy. One takes 4 years in university. One doesn't. You see what I'm saying? And they're teaching you hands-on. Yeah, everybody feels bad for teachers, dude. They get so over. Another option would be like another good like a programming bootcamp, right? Which is like a 6-month bootcamp thing where they teach you how to program and they teach you how to make websites. And right afterwards, they usually try and pair you up with like an employer, so you can actually get a job like once you're done with your bootcamp. The thing about bootcamps is they're also pretty expensive, but they're a lot shorter. They only take 6 months, which, like, if you can make between 60 to 80K as a software engineer, like working at just your average tech company. Like, you don't have to go to a Google or a Facebook or like an Amazon to be a successful engineer. You could be a successful engineer like making 60 to 80K at like a decently sized city, like with a normal standard of living. Okay, so now we've talked about some different types of things you can do after college that aren't like straight up, or after high school that aren't like straight up just university. So that was community college and trade school. My third option is that you could just straight up just not go to university for a little bit, right? Just not go to school. You could go and get like a job, maybe even at like a factory, and save up a lot of money. You could get paid like $15 to $18 an hour doing like manual labor. And yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, right? But at least you'll know that it sucks, right? You'll know that manual labor sucks, and you'll be able to have that experience, and then you'll be able to go to college and appreciate like that you'll be making more money and not have to do manual labor once you finish college, right? Because the thing is, like, with a degree, you're probably going to do some kind of office job. Maybe it might be like 50-50, like office and manual labor, but a lot of times it's going to be kind of like some kind of professional job that doesn't require a lot of manual labor. So yeah, postponing college would be a good alternative too. My other alternative is to start a business. Because you don't need a degree to start a business, right? You just need to have the drive and honestly the fortitude, and you'd be able to like take adversity, right? Adversity. The thing is that you can't teach entrepreneurship. You can't take a class to give you a business idea. That's something that just comes to you. Investing 4 years into a small business is riskier than going to university, but it still gives you hands-on experience with management. It gives you hands-on experience with managing finances. It gives you experience operating a business, figuring out how to make operations work smoothly and efficiently. This is stuff you can't learn from reading a book. You can't learn this from going and taking a class. This is stuff you learn by doing. Someone can tell you how to write a budget. Someone can tell you how to make a budget, but the best way for you to practice and actually learn and use a budget is to make a budget and to stick to that budget. If you're running a business, you need to do accounting, and accounting is essentially budgets for businesses. You can go take a class on management, but that will never give you the experiencing of actually managing a team of people. the only way to learn how to manage a team of people is by managing a team of people. Where there's just some things you can't learn from a book. Think about this. $50,000 how much I spent on my degree. Imagine how much $50,000 would have taken my business. All right, my final option is to just take online courses. You can take online courses. There's a whole bunch of online courses. You can watch YouTube videos on how to do video editing, how to do music production, how to be a content creator, how to do programming, how to be a web developer, how to do web design, a whole bunch of things, how to trade stocks. By the way, trading stocks is just gambling in a sense, because no one can actually predict if a stock's going to go up or down. There's a lot of places that you can find free online courses, just like YouTube. And you could also, take classes on like udemy.com for like programming, for literally anything, honestly. Here, I'll show you this website right now. This website is what I used to learn how to be a web developer. I'm here now telling you these mistakes that I've made so that hopefully you don't make the same mistakes in the future. See, but this is where I learned how to program, because they have all these cheap classes, $20 for learning Python for data analysis and visualization. I took a class of the exact same caliber for $800 in university, and it took me 6 months to pass that class. I get a certificate with this one, and it would probably take me a total of 21 hours. Do you see what the difference is? A web development bootcamp, JavaScript, marketing, online emails, right? This is the same. You can learn how to find clients on LinkedIn. You can't take a class like that in university. You see what I'm saying? Is that these online courses are so cheap, right? You can learn music, right? Personal to business. You see what I'm saying? Is that in this day and age, in the age of the digital economy, it does not make sense anymore to go to the 4-year university when all these other alternatives exist. And the fact that they're still trying to push the same bull on the next generation, on Gen Z, like just digital natives. Like, we have been raised with the internet. If you don't have access to school around you, you could take these courses, and these are affordable. So online courses is another alternative. Maybe now you have some better ideas of other options you can do if you don't know what you want to do after high school, because it's very common to not know. I didn't know, and I'm going to be the one that tells you that it's okay if you don't want to go to university, because let's be real, it might honestly just be a waste of money in the world of the digital economy. I want to finish off by saying that I think that education and just learning is more important than having a piece of paper. Being able to actually enjoy and take the time and be curious about a subject and want to pursue it deeply and in your own personal way is a lot more important than just getting the prerequisites and requirements down for a piece of paper. And the more hands-on experience you can have and get with a lot of things like working on a team and collaborating, running a project, managing a project, and seeing it through to completion, the more wisdom you're going to have, the bigger skill set you're going to have, and you're just going to be a lot more well-rounded than if you just were book smart. So yeah, college isn't for everyone, and a lot of people are going to peer pressure you into saying that university is what you should do right after high school because that's what society expects. You know what? Society's expectations. Do what's best for you, and go to university when you're ready to go, when you know what you want to pursue, and when you're mature enough to take like your university experience seriously. I hope that sharing my experience, my mistakes, and my flaws is going to help you make a better decision for your future. So best of luck, and I'll see you at the top, all right? When should someone give up on their dreams? Probably never, honestly. I would probably say not to give up on your dreams. I don't think that giving up on your dreams would ever lead to happiness. I would say keep